Good morning, folks. Come on in. I'll keep this one short. I'd really like to talk about the consistency versus the frequency of your actions today. So, are you frequently consistent? How you guys doing? Come on in. Can you see me? Okay. It's a gorgeous day here in Ottawa, Canada. This is a crazy topic. We're good? We good, y'all? We good? You guys ready for the Christmas season? Look at that nice snowy Ottawa. Not bad, eh? Not too shabby. Nice view. Okay. I want to talk about consistency versus frequency. A problem that I currently suffer from. So let's see who's coming in. Can you guys tell me if consistency and frequency are the same thing? Consistency in your actions versus frequency in your actions. Are you consistent or are you frequent or are you both? I used to kind of think they were both the same thing. In a lot of my affirmations, for example, my money affirmation, I go, money comes easily and frequently to me. I don't say consistently, but it's kind of both, but it's kind of frequently because I get it in spurts. It's not extremely consistent. Some days I get some. Every day is payday though. Make no mistake, y'all, but it's not consistent. It's up and down. Some days I'll have a crazy day. Some days not so much. Only a couple of G, you know. Listen, I'm just playing. Not really, but that was not the right thing to say. I'm talking about your actions. Consistency. Are we good? Consistency versus frequency. Well, I had to look up the definition because I thought I knew, but now I really know, so I'd like to share it with you. What do you guys think is better? This is what we'll do. Drop it in the comments, please. We're going to talk about two things because, I'm all about health and wealth. So we're going to talk about, is it better to consistently be putting out valuable content to your niche, or is it better to be frequently putting out valuable content in your niche? Now let's go to the health. Is it better to be consistently doing physical activity for your body, or is it better to be frequently doing physical activity for your body? We're going to start with the content. That's for your money. That's for the wealth. Your content. Should you be frequent or should you be consistent, or does it not matter? Well, let's illustrate it like this. And by the way, consistency is key. Consistency is the answer. You must be consistent to succeed in anything that I can think of. You may throw in some frequency in there. You may have peaks and valleys, but you must be consistent. Let's talk about content because I suffer from this. I used to suffer from this. I'm getting better. Let's say you have 30 pieces of content available to put out in the month. And every Monday, you put out 7 pieces of content. Okay? So you put out, every Monday, you put out your whole week worth of content in one day. Then you do the same thing the next Monday. Then you do the same thing the next Monday. Then you do the same thing the next Monday. That's actually 28 pieces. Are you better off to do that? Which would be you're frequently putting out content. That would be frequent. Something you do often, but is not scheduled in equal intervals. Consistently would be something that is scheduled in intervals, regular intervals. So would it be better to put out, tell me what you think. And I'll tell you why consistency trumps frequency. If you were to put out one piece of content per day for 28 days, or 7 pieces of content once a week for 4 weeks. Which one's better? Obviously, it's the consistency. You're better to do less, more consistently, than stuff it all in there and put out even more content on a frequent basis. Big difference. Consistency is scheduled. It's on a daily. I'm going to go with daily basis. So, why is that better? Well, the two reasons that I've noticed is, and I researched it just this morning. I wanted to know why things are really popping, and this applies to all platforms. I don't know of a platform from a pretty intense article that I read two this morning. I don't know of any platform that does not reward you for, excuse me, that does not reward you for consistent output. Consistency is key. You will be seen by more people. You will get rewarded in the, let me say, how you say, social media algos. Yes, that's number one. And number two, I got to tell you, I know this because I am at the receiving end of this. From a nurturing standpoint, it's more powerful to be consistent. It's kind of like when I watch a series on Netflix, like when I watched, what do you call it? Netflix binges. When you have, like when I watched Breaking Bad in one weekend, the whole thing, all seasons, 6 seasons, I believe it was, a couple of years ago, I got pretty attached to the characters. But if I were to watch it, that would be frequently when you pack seasons in. I frequently pack in seasons on Netflix. Or if it's consistent, I absolutely feel more connected with the character if it's just consistently. Every Thursday, Friends come on. I mean, I love my Joey. And the reason I fell in love with these characters is because it was extremely consistent every single week. And the same thing applies. I read it in the article, but I can relate. I can relate from my end. So being consistent in content will trump being frequent in content. And then I'm going to throw out the physical aspect of it too. You guys ever go on a weight loss journey, or you go to get fit and you frequently work out? Hey, I work out when I can, and sometimes you'll work out a bunch of like days in a row. You'll start feeling good. You may even do it for a month. Then you'll stop for a couple of months and you'll work out straight again for another week. Then you'll stop. It's almost like you're starting over every time. And it's funny, that applies to social media too. It's almost like you're starting over every single time. So instead of working out twice a day for a big spurt, losing some weight, which you're going to put back on, I'm just saying, you're better off to work out 3 times a week and do it consistently. Would you guys agree? Of course you would agree. And it's something to keep in mind, because if you think I'm stating the obvious, that's cool. Do you guys see me? If you think I'm stating the obvious, that's cool. But look at yourself in the mirror. I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and I must say, I don't look too shabby today. Hair and makeup did a fine job. I looked at myself in the mirror like I'm trying to get this Instagram and this YouTube thing wired and figure it out. And then I look at my Twitter, which is extremely consistent. I don't know, maybe 100 posts a day, every day, without fail. And my Twitter's it's the bomb. Even my little Facebook, I'm consistent, and it shows in the results, in the incoming messages I get, in the attraction of new customers and new people who want to work with me. But when I'm not consistent, like on Instagram or YouTube, I'll put out 10 posts in one day. I'm very guilty of that. The results don't pop. And I've done it on Instagram where I put out, like for 5 days in a row, I put out one picture and I'm like, why are more people contacting me? That's because before I was frequently putting out content, And now I'm trying to consistently put out content. Okay, guys, you need to schedule this stuff. If I told you guys how many people I've seen come and go, come and go, come and go in our game of online personal branding, building a business online, becoming a public figure, starting to become recognized, nurturing people who watch you. I've seen them come and go, and tons of people are frequently putting out stuff. You'll see them for like, I don't know, they'll be out there for 3 months putting out stuff, putting out stuff, putting out stuff. They're going to disappear for 6 months. Then they're going to come back, and you're going to see by their engagement, it's like they're starting over. And then you got these other cats who are just putting one thing a day, one thing every 2 days, but it's consistent. By the time the frequent people come back into taking action, the people who were consistent, like the turtle and the hare, right? Is that it? The turtle and the wabbit? Same idea. The tortoise. The ones who were consistent they actually passed the people who put tons of frequent stuff. Now I'm talking long-term brand here, okay? I'm talking long-term brand. When it comes to a launch, you want to be consistent and you want to be frequent at certain things. But it's important that consistency is number one. So for example, for me, I have to get my consistency game up to par. It's one of my priorities to be extremely consistent. Then on top of that, when I do product launches, when I do sales, that can be done on a frequent basis. Make sense? Same thing with working out. Working out, I got to be consistent on my cardio. I have to be consistent on my cardio and some weight, some resistance training. But every now and again, like when I go to Cuba, for example, I frequently hit the weights heavy because and I carb up, and I have a certain program I do to pump it up, So it's like I'm consistent on my regular workouts. And then I can be frequently aggressive. When I lost my 52 pounds in 2 months, that was a frequent action. That's something I do every now and again. I'm about to do another one to lose another 20 pounds. But in between, I had to be consistent. So I frequently go on mad weight loss phases to get to that next level. But if I'm not consistent after that, it's coming back on. So in my case, I was able to keep that 52 pounds off for 6 months because I stayed consistent. So now I got to lose that final 20 pounds. So I got to go on I frequently do that, but I continue to stay consistent. So what I highly recommend is you guys schedule this stuff. At first you write it down. Yes. I remember when I did an interview with Norbert Orlowitz, which is the co-founder of a system called My Lead System Pro, which I will always be grateful for. I got to drop their name when I can. They introduced me to this industry, and I got nothing but love for those guys. When Norbert interviewed me 3 years ago, and he asked me to go through my DMO, if I would share my daily method of operation. And if you were to actually look at my daily method of operation, I have a block in there for my workout. It becomes automatic, but to stay consistent in the beginning, you got to put that sucker in your calendar. I shall release one piece of content every single day. I shall get on that treadmill once a day, every single day. Whatever your consistent schedule is, it must be scheduled. That's the best way to stay consistent. After 21 days, so they say, you create that habit. So thanks for popping in, guys. I think I kept it fairly short. We're just under 15 minutes. These will be under 10. That's a syndication thing, because LinkedIn and certain platforms, 10 minutes is optimum. We'll cover that another time. I want to kind of keep going, but I want to cut it before 15. Have an awesome Tuesday, guys, and I'll see you guys on social media. Be consistent. Bye-bye now.